Yes, no everybody, welcome to the first video on my second channel. Whereas today I'm going to be talking about the Amazing Digital Circus, the last act, episode 9, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to be talking about that today because yesterday, on the time I record, well, the day I'm recording this right now is the 5th of June, I'm pretty sure that's 1 month for him. Yesterday on the 4th, I went to the cinema and I watched the Amazing Digital Circus, the last act with a friend of mine and fellow YouTuber, Wuthering Jack. You should go and subscribe to his channel. He posts Wuthering Waves content. It's peak as fuck. I'm here to talk about it because some people have, and some people have mixed opinions. So I'm here to give mine. I'm not tied to any sort of anything, so I can basically say what I want. So starting off, the day was pretty good as a whole. Before we went, but I won't get into that. It's not really important. That's not why we're here. But so we got to the cinema and sat down, not in our seats, and we were waiting for it to start. Eventually it did, and obviously in the cinema they showed episode 8 and episode 9, which I think was a good idea because obviously some people in the cinema they had never even heard of the Amazing Digital Circus, so it was pretty good to show them a little bit of something and what to expect, and then show episode 9. If you ask me, it was quite smart because it gave a rough idea of what was going to come up. So we watched episode 8 again. Really good episode, of course it was. And then episode 9 begins, and the whole room stush. Not a word was spoken. Nothing. It was great. Loads of people have said they went to cinemas and I've watched it, and the crowd was like just talking and shouting the whole time. It wasn't like that when me and Jack went. It was really good. Everybody was just watching it. They were getting involved with, they were getting involved with each other. They were speaking a little bit when certain scenes came up, but that was it. There wasn't just like some chud at the back of the room screaming that he saw Pom. Do you know what I mean? It was nothing like that. They just enjoyed it. They enjoyed what they were seeing, and that was good. I'm glad it was like that. But we continued watching, and it was just such a good episode, honestly. It really deserved to come out in cinemas. It really did, because it's amassed so many views. I've got it written down here. I've got a book here, like just a little book that I randomly found once. And I wrote down all the views that the Amazing Digital Circus ever got. So episode 1, 438 million views. Episode 2, 200 million. Episode 3, 99 million. Episode 4, 146. Episode 5, 125. Episode 6, 139. Episode 7, 84 million. And episode 8 got 107. I'm going to let you take a little time to figure out how much that is. I'm going to tell you in a minute, and I doubt many people have actually seen how much views this show has pulled in. So 3, 2, 1. In total, the Amazing Digital Circus has amassed 1.338 billion views. 1.338 billion with a B. Of course it deserves to be in the cinema. Over 1 billion views. This show has gotten more views than a lot of things. Like a lot of things. So it deserved to get its big screen moment. It deserved to be in the cinemas. It's deserved everything it's got. Anyway, back to the cinema. So we were in there, we watched episode 9, and it was, once again, such a good episode. And everyone loved it, and it was really good. Now, I will say this, I was meant to say at the start of the episode, but I forgot. There may be spoilers coming from me up ahead. So I'll warn you now, if you're planning on going to watch episode 9 in the cinemas, or you're waiting for it to come out on YouTube, be aware that there may be spoilers up ahead. Because if I ruin it for you, I've given the heads up, so you can't have a go at me. But anyway, that spoiler's out the way. What I will say is though, the Gooners didn't win. There was no Goonie scene. There was no kiss. There was no 45-minute sex scene that people were talking about. Well, they're saying that they wanted. Fucking weirdos. There was none of that, which, if you ask me, made the episode really good. And trust me, they grabbed us by the balls. There was so many opportunities where like they could have, you know, made the characters have a little smooch, but they didn't. And if you ask me, that made it really good. It really made it for me, because glitch shows, they're really hit and miss with a lot of people. Gameverse, for example, that's a whole nother kind of worm. But it was just such a good episode. And there isn't really much I can say about it other than it was really good. There wasn't really much else to it. It ended really well. It was told, the actual story of this last episode was told really well. And that was about it. There wasn't really much else to it. It was the animation was the best we'd seen, which I feel like makes a lot of sense with it being the last episode. They really went all in on it, and it was really, really good. The animation. But one thing I maybe would have changed is how they went about with Jax. Like they really, I know we got told that it was mainly going to be focused on Jax, but they really went in on Jax. It felt like 90% of the episode was focused on him, which does sound like a bad thing, because I can't lie, he is my second least favourite character behind Gangle. I fucking hate Gangle. But it was so focused on Jax, but they did it really well. Even though it was mainly focused on him for a large portion of it, they really told it really well. They used him in the show really well, and how they went about with Jax and with the story involving him and his own and other things that I'm not gonna say, because I don't want to spoil it in case people maybe didn't hear me say the spoiler bit, so I ain't gonna say. But yeah, like, they did really well with it. They did really, really well. Now comes the unfortunate bit, especially when it comes out really on YouTube, because I feel like what will happen is episode 9 will come out. It'll be the most successful episode. I think it'll be the first Digital Circus episode to break 500 million views. Hot take, I know, but it has the ceiling to. It's really good. But now what? What is there now for Glitch? People looked forward to this. People waited. Me included. We were waiting for episodes. But now there is no more. We just wait for episode 9 to come out on YouTube, but it's not that special, like, to me anymore, because I've seen it. Like, don't get me wrong, when it comes out on YouTube, I'll be watching it again. I'll probably watch it a couple of times. But the thing is, now there's not really much else for Glitch, really. Like, if we go through Glitch's plans, obviously they got Gameverse at the moment, which looks really good. I watched the pilot when it came out, and it looks really good. But it's what people think of it already. They're already calling it a Gooner show. No, well done. There is a female character. Keep it in your pants. We get it. It looks really good, and people try and play down every single show that everybody releases. They tried to play this down. They tried to make it look really bad, sound really bad. It's the most successful show they've ever done, and nothing will ever come close to it. The thing is, going forward, this is what I think is going to happen, and will more than likely happen. With Digital Circus being... Why is there an ad? With the Amazing Digital Circus being the most popular Glitch show now, one, nothing will ever come close to it. Ever. And what will happen now is Pomni will be made the main mascot of Glitch, most successful show and all, and then it'll just get the Murder Drones treatment. As you can see, I've got the Murder Drones, what's it called, mouse pad. I love Murder Drones. For a very, very long time, like, it was only fairly recently that I kind of made this change, I suppose. I preferred Murder Drones to the Amazing Digital Circus. I loved Murder Drones. I still do, which is why I got the mouse pad. I've even got a poster over there. I want to show you, but my room looks like a bomb's gone off, so I'm not going to do that. I love Murder Drones, but that's the thing. Murder Drones now is, you know, they got their music video. They use like Uzi and N for their merch, and that's about it. we don't really hear of Murder Jones no more. We don't really hear of Liam Vickers no more either, which is unfortunate because I think a Murder Jones revamp would be pretty cool. I know he does the comics, but an actual show, like maybe he should do a show off of the comics. Like that would be good. I feel like that, like a lot of people would benefit from that because the Murder Jones like fan base is still like the second strongest, bar none really. Well, obviously Digital Circus is above it, but then you've got Murder Jones. But a lot of people went to Digital Circus from Murder Jones because before Digital Circus there was Murder Jones and it stayed top for a while. But then I think I worked it out the other day. It wasn't the other day, it was a long time ago. Me and Jack worked it out. The pilot of Amazing Digital Circus has amassed more views than Murder Jones. Full stop. I think Murder Jones, no actually, I think it's fairly close. I think there's like 10 or 20 million views in it for Digital Circus. I think it's literally above by that much, which is nuts because a pilot for a show got, what was it, 438 million? And I'm pretty sure Murder Jones was like maybe just below 400, so maybe like 30-40 million views are in it. But like, that's stupid. This show is huge. One would say massive. It needs to grow up. But I'm scared for what's next for Glitch and the Amazing Digital Circus. She's going to be made into the mascot of Glitch. I feel like that's the given. She's going to be the main. When you think of Glitch, you're going to think of Pomni. Let's be real. But that's really about it. That's probably the biggest thing that's going to come from this show. In like say a year time after it's finished, that's going to be it. It's just going to be Pomni's still the mascot. They're going to use probably Jax and Pomni for merch like they do Uzi and N. It's probably going to be like that. But it's a shame really because it's so big. It's such a big show. And I'll say this because it's not really spoiling it, but the ending of episode 9 opens a lot of opportunity for a season 2 of Digital Circus. And for anybody going, you will understand that a lot earlier than people who watch it on YouTube. But honestly, there is such a big opportunity for a season 2. It's really big opportunity, but I don't think Goose will do it. And I don't think they don't have a reason to either, really. I mean, let's be honest. Goose has probably made so much money from Digital Circus. Goose and Glitch are rolling in it right now. Like, a lot of money. Like, and I'm not even talking about like the merch or the pop-ups that they do at, what is it, like Comic-Con, I'm pretty sure it is. I don't fucking know. You'll never catch me there. Like, all the money, like, not even that. I'm on about just the show in general, just pulling views, the likes and stuff like that. They have probably made so much. So why would they make season 2? They have no reason to. But it would be pretty cool if they did though. As it looks, Glitch is one of them productions, unless there is plans for a season 2 from when the show is pitched. I don't think there will be a season 2 because people talk about Murder Jones season 2 even now, and Murder Jones has been over for like 3 years, maybe more. I haven't checked in a while. I need to rewatch it, to be fair. Honestly, I'm glad it ended how it did. I really, really am. But I'm also annoyed that it's ended. But I'm not annoyed at the episode. The episode was perfect. It was a great ending. Some of the cast got what they wanted. Some. But there's nothing really else now. I mean, going back to an earlier point I made, let's look at what Let's look at what Glitch currently has in store. Gameverse looks really good. I'll be watching it 100%. Then what? Oh, we're going to bring back Gaslight District. No! Fuck Gaslight District. I'll say it loud and proud. I'll say it loud for the people at the back. Gaslight District is arse. It's not good. It's really not. It's not good. They've forgotten about Knights of Guinevere. Like, when they did the glitch cart stuff, where was the Knights of Guinevere character? Where? There wasn't one, I'm pretty sure. I don't think there was anyway. But that's the thing. They don't talk about it no more. Nobody remembers Knights of Guinevere. They just don't. And I think Glitch have forgotten about Knights of Guinevere too. Well, maybe it's not Glitch. Maybe it's the people who were producing Knights of Guinevere. Maybe they didn't get the green light, unfortunately. But even still, like, it looked good. If you ask me, they should have greenlit it if they didn't. But that's the thing. It's forgotten about. Well, it's either been forgotten about or cancelled. So, you know, it's one of them. If it's cancelled, then that's unfortunate because it looked okay. But if it was greenlit, it's been forgotten about. In terms of Gameverse, they have to be so careful, like really careful. Like how Gameverse is, you can tell it's going to be good. But hear me out on this hot take though. Gameverse won't be as big, and I mean it won't pull more views than Murder Jones did. Glitch's top 3 shows in a couple years' time will be The Amazing Digital Circus, Murder Jones, and then Gameverse. The only reason Gameverse got as much hype as that it did was because Schlatt is a voice actor. Like, if Schlatt didn't voice act, I don't think it would have. I don't think it would have been as big as it is. I'll say it. Not many people would know. Not as much as they do. Not like in terms of the people that know about it. I don't think it would be as big if Schlatt wasn't voice acting in it. And that's just me being honest. If Schlatt wasn't voice acting, I don't think it'd be that big, like that it is now. But you know, Elsie Lovelock does really good in it, as Kit, to be fair. But you know, enough about Gameverse. That's a different episode. But yeah, going back to Digital Circus, that's it. I've said what I think is going to happen. I think that Pomni is just going to become the mascot of Glitch, the main one anyway. And they're just going to bring back characters for merch drops. They'll keep dropping merch like they do with Murder Jones, but it's a shame what happened to Murder Jones. Really. They made it so corny. Like, really corny. Like, with the whole back to school stuff. Like, why? I get it. They were, like, young adults. But they were setting them out like they were in high school. Which was... It was a hard watch, I'll be real. It really, really was. But I hope that doesn't happen with this. I really, really don't. I just hope that it gets its ending, and that's about it, really. I just hope it ends like that. Right, that was a lot of talking, but I'm gonna end this video with a clip that I recorded after me and Jack watched episode 9. It was at the train station. I was waiting to come back home, and I recorded it. Just what I thought. It's nothing thingy. I don't really remember. I haven't watched it back, so the audio might be a bit naff because I was at the train station. But I'm just gonna add the clip, and I want you. I want you to see it because I make some valid points. Obviously, it was on the same day that I watched it, so everything was still fresh. So yeah, enjoy the clip of me talking after watching the last act. Yes, my people, what we're saying. If you're seeing this, I've actually recorded my first video for my second channel. So, I hope you're enjoying the video so far. I don't know how long it is, or what minute or second you're up to right now. But if you're seeing this, that means I have started recording it. So, The Amazing Digital Circus Last Act. I watched it with my mate Wuthering Jack, or just Jack. Hopefully I've put a picture in the video somewhere, not leaking, but showing his channel and giving him a bit of clout, hopefully. But honestly, it was absolutely incredible. An ending that felt right, but I felt like they could have done something different. with the ending, but then again, you can say that about everything. And I said that to Jack as well. But do you know what? It was a very, 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 very good ending and a very, 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 very good episode. And I'm glad that that was the one to end it, because it was really, really fucking good. I will say the animation was really good too, especially from where they've come from with episode 1. It was absolute cinema, literally, because I went and watched it in the cinema. But yeah, it was so good, man, honestly. Anybody who's going to see it, don't worry, there's no spoilers, and I hope I said that at the start of the video too, but there are no spoilers in this one. So honestly, if you are going, trust me, it's fucking worth it. And if you're thinking about going, go and watch The Amazing Digital Circus, The Last Act, because that is absolute quality. It is stupidly good. You're probably wondering where I am right now. I'm actually about to get the train to go back to where the first bit of this video was filmed. So yeah, this is actually past me right now. Little fourth wall break. But yeah, to cut a long story short, The Amazing Digital Circus Last Act was absolute fucking cinema. And if you're thinking about going, you should. You really, really should. And if you are going, just, you're in for a treat. Anyway, back to whatever I'm about to say in the present for me, but in the past right now. That wasn't right, but you know what I meant. So yeah, that was the clip. I hope it wasn't as bad as I remember it being. I remember it being quite poor, but yeah, I hope it wasn't that bad. But yeah, that is the end of the first episode on my second channel. If you want to go and subscribe to the main channel, it's in my bio on YouTube, or just search up Betty28 and I'll come up for the main channel. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this one. I hope you enjoy listening to me rambling. And here's to The Amazing Digital Circus, here's to Murder Jones, and here's to Gamerverse not being arse. And go and subscribe to Jack as well. He deserves a couple subs. Thanks for watching.